we talk about weather and things like that with other teams and what stands out as weather, and this team looks very weathery. Like this is
Well,
what the
one
weatheriest
weather,
weather.
but
Well,
yes.
yeah, it's a very strong weather team. This kind of looks like my first draft league season with when I had a rain team. It was very
Oh,
rainy.
I mean, to less of an extent, I can say the same thing because, first of all, will the real Berserker please stand up?
Yeah, yeah. There he is now.
Like, actually, no mind playing tricks on me. And Butterfree, they were both on my season one team. Uh,
Yeah,
Literally brought Butterfree to every single match except the final, and that was just because I was like, let's give Butterfree a break.
just getting tired, right?
Well, I would imagine playing so many consecutive weeks, it's got to be rough. But absolutely worthy Pokemon. I love also like okay, yeah, Compound Eyes. You already have insanely good accuracy on Whirlwinds, but Whirlwind doesn't miss in the rain, and so that's a little
Hurricane?
bit of support of Butterfree.
Oh,
Yeah, or
Whirlwind.
do I?
Whirlwind or Hurricane?
Well, okay. Whirlwind already doesn't miss.
I was gonna say, I'm like,
Hurricane.
it's
I
like, do I
keep
have to go
doing
look
that.
that up?
Okay, I'm accidentally foreshadowing though with Whirlwind because
Ah,
Butterfree does get Whirlwind, and that is important for something coming up. I do
yes.
also want to say I love the support for Kartana and having rain,
Mm-hmm.
and also for Regieleki, Thunder don't miss. You
Mm-hmm.
don't miss. And Impidimp just I love that design so much. I'm excited to see what Impidimp can do.
Yeah, this team, like, I think Impidimp is anything prankster is just really nice. Like we looked it up. It doesn't get screens, unfortunately, unlike its Morgrim and Grimmsnarl
Right.
evolutions. But I don't think that's really 100% needed because Aleki is there. You also have Charjabug that does that really well as well. So I
Mm.
kind of like this as well. And uh, just to kind of bring you back to like just foreshadowing your whirlwind with the Butterfree, one of the
Mhm.
things that stands out on this team is it doesn't have a single Trick Room setter on this team.
And I would argue no trigger mode to boot. Like, yeah, you have Berserker on the sore end and Charge
Yep.
Focus on the sore ends, but there's no trick room setter, but there's no like truly slow Pokemon who can uh, get in a beatdown. So, mm, yeah,
Yeah, this team would
well,
never set Trick Room intentionally unless Berserker just looks really good in the matchup. And
which is possible.
which is possible. I had Berserker last season and it was really good. I really liked it, and you also won a championship with it. So it didn't come to that match, but it got you there for sure.
Yes. Uh, really reliable Pokemon. A few things you can do with them. I think that's true for a number of Pokemon here. Like, yeah, okay, Urshifu is offensive, but the coverage is really good. Regieleki offensive support, which is nice. Yeah, so I guess the question is,
Is it a
does this?
problem?
Yeah, I'm gonna say no. Partly because, like, okay, so if you don't have a slow mode, it could be dangerous to let your opponent get it up.
Hmm.
But I think this team has a few reliable ways to stop it. Like Butterfree has Whirlwind,
Yeah.
and yeah, Follow Main is an option. I think really only Indeedee Female is going to stop that because you do have other Pokemon on this team who have Fake Out, and so if you can Whirlwind out the Pokemon setting Trick Room, you're okay. There is also Taunt available, so Fake Out Taunt is an option as well.
Hmm.
Yeah, so even without Imprison Trick Room or clicking Trick Room yourself, I think that there are ways to stop it. And
So actually, just let me just interrupt you for a second. So just
yeah,
for the people listening, because like, yes, the players are going to be listening, and they know definitely Whirlwind and why it stops the Trick Room. Why specifically is Whirlwind and Roar good plays against the Trick Room setter?
the priority of Trick Room is -7, and Whirlwind, Dragon Tail, Circle Throw.
All
Uh,
moves that force switches.
right, they're 4. Um, so,
So
and
Trick
Roar.
Room is the lowest priority bracket that there
Exactly.
is.
Yeah, so when you go for Roar, you're going to send them out. So not only are they not able to click Trick Room the next turn if uh, you're stopping them the turn of. So that unless your opponent has two Trick Room setters out, like they're not setting Trick Room for a while. Like
That
yeah, you
sucks
could
when that happens. You're like, which one's
yeah.
gonna do it?
Yes, that can be really stressful and cause a lot of 50-50s. It could even be dangerous if like you go for a Whirlwind and the Pokemon Dynamaxes instead, since that's a risk in Series 9. Um, Pokemon who Dynamax are immune to forced switch out moves,
Hmm.
and one switch out item, which is red card. But um, Yeah, I would say in general it's a fairly reliable way of dealing with Trick Room because it's so disruptive. The Pokemon who comes in is
Is
chosen at
dragged
random.
out. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's one thing that's so undervalued with all those moves is like field position is so important when you're playing in a league, especially like this best on best. And when you're in like a very heated match, it's very chess match like, someone's waiting for someone to make a mistake and you use whirlwind or roar and you drag out something that is a horrible matchup. A, you're forcing them to switch, or B, you're just gonna OHKO whatever's out. So I think that's a really cool tech that isn't seen as much across the VGC world, I guess, in on the ladder and things like that, and in draft league. But very cool
Yeah.
tech, and I thought I definitely wanted to touch on that as well because you're actually the one that taught me that. So and I'm learning every single day. So very cool stuff. But yeah, I my first thing was this team needs a trick room setter because I don't know if I can play around it enough and well enough uh,
Mm.
to stop it from happening. But like you said, there's fake out, there's whirlwind, things like that, and not to mention there's so much power on this team that you could just flat out KO something with neutral damage. Like
Oh yeah.
Kartana with Steely Spirit Berserker, what? Like 100,
Yeah.
181 attack. That's 50% boosted by seal.
Yeah, if you're knocked out, you also can't go for any moves, so that's a
Oh
way to
really?
stop Trick Room.
Let me write that down. Hold on.
Yeah, this is a real insider secret.
Yeah, I like this team a lot. I think this is very cool. It scares me because it reminds me of a team that I struggled using. So that's if there was one move on this team, we actually didn't come out with what this team really needed because we just established before that Trick Room isn't 100% needed on this team because of
Right.
the construct. Um, we do see an overlap with the two Swift Swim users, which isn't a problem on a lot of teams, but I think that this one there is a little bit. And by the way, can we just make just a mention? We were talking about Hitmontop last episode.
Hmm.
Ludicolo really needs to stop moving.
I mean, that's a good enough reason to cut a Pokemon from a team, right?
Yeah, like I could just delete it right now. Actually, like there it goes. Right?
Okay,
Yeah,
work. Love this team. Ship it.
yeah. No, but I actually don't know what to really add to this team. Is there anything just to kind of throw at you, like that you think would really not something specific, but obviously C tier and B tier, there's more value in one than in the other when it comes to Pokemon that could add to your team. I think B has a little more to offer than C. But do you think double Swift Swim users on this team is a problem, or would you make a move if this was yours?
So, the typing that they have in common is water,
Hmm.
uh, which also
But
means that they have no overlap in terms of weakness, which I
not
think
at all.
could be beneficial. Um, uh, yeah. uh,
It sounds like it's a no. You don't really need to make a move.
Well, my rule is for making a change to my team, I want to really reason out why the Pokemon should stay and who's coming in, what they're really going to do. I really don't like making trades willy-nilly, and might be too soon to figure it out because the two Swift Swim users are also uh, pretty different, I would say. So
Yeah.
like I don't know if I could easily pick one over the other either. So it would come
Yeah,
down to I think who can add the most to my team on a pickup.
Yeah, and I think you hit it right on the head in the beginning when you said they don't have any overlapping weaknesses. And yes, they're used in a similar way, but if you're prepping against Swift Swim Ludicolo, you need a separate check for Swift Swim Seismitoad. Like just for countering it. So I think it's almost like you probably wouldn't want to bring both of them the same week. I would imagine, just because I feel like there are other things you'd want on a team week to week. But I think this is something that you could split the time, like one in, one out next week, one
Right.
in, one out, And I think this could be very, very hard to prep against. And it's funny that we're just completely ignoring Urshifu single strike, but that, which is just amazing getting through all protects and things like that. So Wicked Blow is just so broken. Game Freak, what were you doing when you added this? Yeah, like this team is just so cool. Like I see Tailwind, I see Charge-a-Bug, which adds the 50% special attack boost with battery, which is really cool. I can pairing that next to Regieleki using Electro Ball against something slow. I don't think anything survives. I think that'd be really, really cool. Not to mention if you specs your Eleki, holy crap. That damage would be insane. You have a battery boost, you have specs, and you're using Electro Ball on your Eleki, which gets the transistor boost. Like,
Mm.
oh my goodness. Like, you have two nukes on this team with the Kartana and the Steel Spike next to Sealy Spirit, and you have the battery boosted Regieleki. So I
Right.
see a lot of power on this team. I see a really, really good rain mode, and I see a couple of fun things you can do with Berserker and Impidimp, not to mention Butterfree. So very, very cool team. I think this is going to be one of the better teams if it's played right.